Good evening, Mr. Chair. Kevin Smith, 6 King Philip Drive. You may recall that I was here at the last meeting and spoke during the public comment portion of the discussion on the PUD. And my comments that evening were very limited to the false and inaccurate statements that were made by Councilor Paul in public and also in her newspaper. And so it's somewhat ironic that I'm up here again tonight to talk about inaccurate statements that have been printed in the local newspaper. And just as a reminder, the Londonderry Times is owned and published by Councilor Paul. Her business receives money from the town of Londonderry for the ads that it runs in that paper. And the article in question this week was written by Councilor Paul's husband, Chris Paul. So I'll let you draw whatever ethical conclusions you want to draw from that. The article was about the PUD discussion at the last meeting. And there's no less than 3 people quoted in the story with their negative comments about Woodmont, which is fine. People are entitled to their own opinion. But then at the very end of the article, and I'm going to read you the one paragraph, it says, Planning Board member Tony G. Francesco and Woodmont Representative Kevin Smith were the only residents to speak in favor of the PUD during the hearing. Now, I'll let Tony speak for himself. He's very good at that. But I'm going to speak for myself. You all were at that hearing. You all heard what I said. I did not say one word, negative or positive, against the PUD that was being discussed that night. My comments were limited to the inaccurate statements that Councilor Paul has made in the past about the PUD ordinance, not what was written in this newspaper this past week. Now, I'm not looking for a correction here this evening. I'm not looking for a retraction. God knows this is not the first time, and it won't be the last, that something was grossly misreported in this paper. And I hesitate to even call it a newspaper because these are not objective reporting. These are opinion pieces at best. But I'm here tonight because I want this all on the record for people listening tonight and for people listening in the future, that of a lot of what they're reading in here is misrepresented. The people of this town deserve better, and the taxpayers whose money are going to this newspaper deserve better. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Dunn, may I respond to that, please? You allowed Mr.
You may, because I
Faber
did
to.
allow Sean to speak, yes.
Thank you very much. The quote that I supposedly said was, that Mr. Smith said that I said, is that Woodmont made out. And if we look at the, which has been stated, the land use tax is what that was in reference to, and how it was applied to Woodmont was not done correctly, which the taxpayers lost money on. You can interpret that any way you want. And I welcome you to write to me if my reporters get anything wrong, and you can prove it to me that it is incorrect or inaccurate, I will run a correction. That has not happened. It happens every now and then, and we do run the correction. I've gotten a date wrong. I've gotten a number wrong. Maybe misquoted someone, and we do run a correction. Where we get our stories are directly from the minutes or the meetings themselves. They're not opinions. They're what happened, AKA Cliff Notes of this meeting. You can interpret things any way you want, but the fact is that, Mr. Smith, I welcome you to point out exactly how that land use tax played out for Woodmont. Was it positive for them, or was it negative for the town? Please. Thank you.
All right.